In this demo, we will see how to migrate application from AWS OpenShift cluster to GKE. Let's look at the source and target environment. On AWS, we have these 6 VMs. These are the VMs used for the OpenShift cluster. Let's access the console of this OpenShift cluster. Currently, we have created one Blogger project and which we are going to migrate to the GKE. If we check the workload, there are two. There is one deployment, WordPress deployment, and another one is the stateful set. Let's look at the other objects also. So here, as a prerequisite, I have created one secret which will be used by Swift internally to deploy the RackWare tripod on the source environment, and this is also needed for deploying tripod on target also. So we are going to create this secret on target also. So let's look at the other objects. If we check the persistent volume claims, then we can see that there are two claims are there, and these are using GP2 storage class. Note that this GP2 storage class is a non-CSI storage class on AWS, and Swift support migration of non-CSI volumes from AWS to GKE, as well as it also supports the all CSI volumes migration. Now let's open the website. I have already opened the website of this application. If we check here, Hello World is the default post created on this website, and I have created one demo post for our test purpose. Let's look at the target environment also. On target, on GCP, we have created a regional cluster with these 3 default nodes, and it is running with 1.22.8 version. I have also deployed the Kubernetes dashboard on this GKE cluster. So currently one namespace is created, Blogger namespace is created, and inside this namespace, I have created a secret. So this will be used by Swift internally for deploying the RackWare tripod. This is the part of prerequisite. So let's look at the other objects. So currently there are no objects present in this namespace. Okay, now we can move to the Swift. Here we can see how to migrate the application. After logging, we have to first discover both the environments. To do this, we have to move to the container cluster page and click on Add. To discover the OpenShift cluster, I have selected the OpenShift, and you can see these are the environments from where we can discover the OKD and OCP clusters. So I'm selecting the Amazon AWS as this is our source environment. Let me enter the details. Before that, these are the all parameters which are needed for discover. We will need a service SA token, port number, then DNS name of that cluster, access key and secret key, region, and the tripod image name and the image secret. Let me enter the details quickly. With this help of the secret, which we have already created, it will pull the RackWare tripod, and this is the path of that image. Okay, click on add, and it will quickly discover our OpenShift cluster. So it will, in this process, it will collect all the metadata required to migrate the application, like namespaces of all the projects are on this cluster, then all the other object details, all these things will be collected. Let's discover the target cluster also. So I'm selecting the Kubernetes and GKE. So let me assign, and I can customize, add me a friendly name for this cluster. I will, okay, for discovering the cluster, we will need cluster name on this GKE cloud, region, zone, and private key file. Let me fill in all the details. Click on add, and this will quickly discover the GKE cluster also. If we check, if we expand the GKE demo, and you will see that all the details are collected, like exact version of Kubernetes, then all the namespaces created on this cluster. Similarly, for GKE also, we have summary of all the details, also projects present on this OpenShift cluster. So we have Blogger project on this. We have created a Blogger app on the OpenShift cluster, and we can get the details of all these environments here. If you want to get the details of other object, then it is also possible from here. Okay, now both the clusters are discovered. Now we can move to the migration. To migrate the application, go to the sync administration, click on all replications, and click on new. So we can also we can migrate the applications using application replication menu, and if you want to migrate the registries, image registries, then select the registry replication. Click on application replication. Here we have to select the source and the target. So our source is OpenShift cluster. Select OpenShift cluster name and the project which we want to migrate. On target side, select the namespace where we want to migrate the application. So I have already created the Blogger namespace and I am selecting it. Also select the zone where you want to migrate it. There are two possibilities. So suppose you want to migrate the specific microservices, then it is possible with the selective approach. Here you will be able to select the services or specific Kubernetes objects which you want to migrate. Here I am selecting the all. Here the next part is the tripod ports. If you select the auto select ports, then this you have to open the range of ports on the source and target, and if you select the auto select ports, then it will choose 2 ports from it. If you don't want to do it, then manually provide the ports here. Click on replication and add the job name. So it is not mandatory, but you can add a name here. Click on add. This will create a sync job. In this sync job, you will get the details of the sync job, like who started this job and when it is started, when it is ended. All these things will be populated once job is completed. Also, all the other details will be also available once job is completed, like object sync statistics, data sync statistics. In sync progress, you can check all the logs, what is happening behind the scenes. So it will discover the cluster, and then it will take a snapshot of the application, source application. Here we don't need a application downtime or for a source. Once the discovery is completed for both the source and target cluster, it will take a snapshot of the source environment, and it will create volumes on the target. So if we move to the target cluster, we will see that persistence volumes are created, volume claims are created, and these are the 59 seconds ago. And on the OKD also, we can check that application is not down, so there is no downtime here. Now it is trying to deploy the pods on the source and target cluster. So we can see that here. So it is trying to create the tripod on the source cluster. And this will help us to migrate the application from source to target. So once that migration is completed, these pods will be deleted automatically. On target also, we can check the pod creation is started and it is completed. Okay, both pods are pod deployment is completed, and now it will start the sync of the application. So first it will copy all the data from source to target volumes, and then after that it will copy all the objects related to the application. Data sync is started now. Data sync is completed, and it is deleting the tripod from the source and target environment. So it is the tripod is intermediary state. So it is now terminating. Tripods are undeployed from both the environments, and now it will start the sync of the objects. Now we can see that object sync is started and it copied the deployments and stateful set. So it is now trying to deploy all the objects. All the objects are deployed successfully. Let's go to the services. Services are also created. Okay, operation is also completed successfully, and now we can see the details of the objects, migrated objects, the number of namespaces migrated, then number of stateful set deployments. All these details will be displayed here. Also, data sync, copy, how much data is copied from source to target, that details will be displayed here. And you can also find the particular volumes sync summary. So all these details can be found on the Swift portal. Okay, now let's move to the target environment and let's check that our application is up and running. For this application, this service is created. Now let's let's open this website. Okay, we can see that our example post is also present on the target WordPress site. So now we can conclude that our replication is successful. That's all for the demo. Thank you.